The battle between a trade union and Trinidad government over the closure of state-owned oil company heads to court, and in sport, West Indies head coach has high expectations of Marlon Samuels for the regional Super 50. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Wednesday, October 3. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Just before you carry on, what did your parents do? Where did your father work? What was his profession?
My father was an accountant. He worked in Iraq in the Baghdadi railway station, which was a governmental position. Yeah, exactly. And my mother was a housewife who had dreams actually to become a doctor, and that never materialized.
In a recent Los Angeles Times article, the California Bullet Train was reported to be 11 years behind schedule. And it seems all they've accomplished in that time is driving the estimated cost higher and higher. It's now determined that connecting the Bay Area and Los Angeles with high-speed rail is going to cost $100 billion. $100 billion, or about 1,000% higher than we were initially told. Now, I thought it would be interesting to put the number 100 billion in perspective.
We begin in Trinidad and Tobago, where an injunction filed by Oil Fields Workers Trade Union, the OWTU, in the industrial court to stop state-owned oil company Petrotrin from sending home workers is expected to be heard. The move comes on the same day as the union begins a three-day protest that it had described as the mother of all marches. The application for the injunction, which was filed yesterday, seeks to prevent government from following through with its plan to send home all Petrotrin employees when it closes refinery operations on November 30.
That action is accompanied by an industrial relations offense complaining that Petrotrin has not been meeting and treating in good faith with the union. Union boss Ansel Roger explains why the move is necessary.
Remember, we have a memorandum of agreement that set out the procedure for the restructuring of the company. And the company would have breached that memorandum of agreement. That's a court order. And so that's an industrial relations offense. And pending the outcome of that matter, the union has filed an application for an injunction to prevent the company from sending home the Petrotrin workers.
The union has hired respected senior counsel Douglas Mendez and a team of attorneys to present and defend its case. If successful, government's plans for the refinery could be derailed. In a statement issued today, the union argued that the approach by the board is not about restructuring, but shutting down the company, something it says was never recommended by both the Lashley and Solomons and Associates reports. The shutting down of the refinery began on October 1st. By the end of November, all workers should receive termination letters and notice of severance. The total separation package is estimated at $2.6 billion.
That report from Kamal Georges of CNC3 News. And staying in Trinidad and Tobago, where police are searching for the gunman who shot and killed a senior prison official outside his home in Malabar, that's in east of the capital, late last night. A statement issued by the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service described the murder of 50-year-old acting superintendent of prisons, Wayne Jackson, as cowardly and heinous. It said it is working with the police to ascertain the motive for the murder of the prison officer who had 30 years of service. Police said Jackson had just pulled up in his driveway when two gunmen ambushed him and fatally shot him. Lawmen recovered more than 30 spent shells at the scene. And high levels of seismic activity have been recorded at the Kikemjeni underwater volcano in the past few days. Now, Grenada's National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, said in a statement that since the episode began on the afternoon of September 30, several events have taken place. The largest three of those occurred on Monday with activity of magnitudes 3.5, 3.5 and 3.3. Now, NADMA has informed marine interests and the general public that the threat level at the volcano remains at yellow, so the exclusion zone of 1.5 kilometers must must continue to be observed. It says it's collaborating with the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center, which has been recording the activity, on keeping the public informed about what's going on at the volcano, which is located about 5 miles north of Grenada. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. West Indies B head coach Stuart Williams expects batting star Marlon Samuels to play a seminal role with the unit as they contest Group A of the Regional Super 50, which bowls off today. Samuels has been appointed to captain the development side in the October 3rd to 28th tournament and will play alongside emerging talents like Kemal Emilius, Christian Kalacharan and Chima Holder.
Marlon comes with a wealth of experience and a senior player, a senior cricketer for West Indies. I think any team would have Marlon in it, have a chance to succeed. I expect, mentorship, expect leadership. And for him, I'm just looking forward to him to stamp his charity in this tournament in a positive way.
The 37-year-old Jamaican has played 199 one-day internationals and has garnered in excess of 5,000 runs with 10 hundreds and 30 half-centuries. He is one of the few players in the West Indies B squad with international experience, and Williams hopes the younger players can also make their mark on the tournament.
To be honest, I expect each player to be basically give an account of themselves. They have the potential, and to represent themselves well. Feel with a certain level of professionalism. Our strength, basically, just looking at the team, I would say bowling. Looking at our fast bowling attack with Alzari Joseph, Odin Smith, Shema Holder, Bamsford Beaton. I think these are our strength lies. Even though we have Marlon Samuels and Carrier. It's just for us, if we could put some runs on the board, I think we will be in with a chance.
Trinidad and Tobago has lost to Thailand in the World Volleyball Championships. TV6's Sergio Defoe reports.
TNT were slow starters against Thailand, who were fired up at the start, blocking Shannon Thompson on this occasion. The Calypso Spikers were always in it though, and they kept the gap close at 14-18 at one stage, much to the delight of the fans. But Thailand would steal some late thunder by taking the set 25-17. TNT had their problems defending, particularly against the Thai middle blocker and captain Thinkao Plumjet, who upset some of TNT's attacking patterns. Thailand finishing strongly to take the second set 25-17. However, the Calypso Spikers surged in the third set by opening up a 5-point lead 8-3. They had to dig deep though, as the match was kept close at 23-22, but the team in red would take the set 25-23, their first ever at the World Volleyball Championships.
That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.